Cletus, you're awesome. You're the magic man.
I'll find you one for you to come.
We are live again at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Good morning to you. It is a little cooler, but it's okay. It's it's going to be a little bit colder tonight, but it's okay right now. We're at Champion Chevrolet, and again, it's going to be back into the 50s and 60s by Monday, New Year's Day, and the New Year's weekend. So it's all good as far as I'm concerned. Good morning to you, live at Champion Chevrolet. Wow, been talking to Andy before we went on the air here. Holy tamale, what a month they've had, and it's still going strong. But they have not yet, but they have sold a ton of merchandise, to say the least. We'll let him talk about that coming up here in a little while. But we're here again live at Champion Chevrolet with you again on this Thursday, December the 29th. Local football is going to be involved coming up later on this afternoon. The Belk Bowl will preview the Virginia Tech and Arkansas game from the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina. Run down all the basketball games going on. I know our buddy Tim Copenhaver will probably give us a bird's eye report when he comes back. He's been up at the Arby's Classic watching Science Hill Dobbins Una play this morning, so we'll get an update when he comes back. He is coming back, isn't he? Andy, is he coming back? He is coming back. Yes, yeah. So he'll be back in here in a little while, give us an update on that game and how things went from the Arby's Classic. We've got college football, got some NASCAR news going on. Of course, NFL news, Bill Belichick weighs in on the firing of Rex Ryan. Doesn't particularly like it, which I thought was interesting because I don't think they're bosom buddies. But anyway, we'll talk all about that coming up. Lots of sports between now and 1 o'clock. Going to be joined here in just a few minutes with David Crum, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Also going to be joined by the obvious, our buddy Andy Dietrich, one of the coners here at Champion Chevrolet. And then, Carmichael's on vacation. Our newspaper guys are out covering tournaments, so we are working here today with me and Ben Foy and Andy Dietrich and David Crum, and a lot of sports to tell you about, and a lot of good specials going here again at Champion Chevrolet. I think I've told you many times I'm a proud card-carrying owner of a vehicle from Champion Chevrolet, and I can tell you, not getting paid to tell you, but I can tell you and I got first-class treatment here. And when they say, how do we do that? They just roll up their sleeves and go to work for you as customer service, which is something that they're very proud about, and they should be because they do a phenomenal job. As we say every show, this particular dealership dukes it out every month with a dealership in a much larger metropolitan area in Memphis as the number one Chevy dealer in the state. There's 51 Chevy dealerships. This is easily one of the top one or two for the last three and a half years. And of course, they're getting ready to come up on the big 10-year birthday anniversary coming up. I believe it's in February. They're going to have a little party, a little get together, a little hootenanny. Andy says hootenanny time at Champion Chevrolet. So phenomenal, folks. If you are a big fan of Corvettes, they got some great specials on Corvettes. Right off to my left here is probably a smoky charcoal gray, black interior Corvette that looks nice. You talking about tooling down the highway here in Northeast Tennessee or Southwest Virginia? It'd be a great place to take this one for a test spin and then go ahead and sign on the line and get you a Corvette. They got them on sale. Again, we'll let him tell you all about that coming up here in just a little while. We always start our show by dedicating to the man who hung on the cross, who unashamedly do that for you. I will tell you, and very proud to tell you, our research from Appalachian Digital over the last 4 days, which have been yesterday, Tuesday, and then last Thursday and last Friday, we had 14,000 reaches here on the Facebook Live, and there's a ton of folks picking us up to an AM 790, so can't thank you enough for what's going on here and to give all the credit to the good Lord for that. This, as Phil Robertson said on Duck Dynasty, that goes as far as the good Lord wants it to go, and voila, you kind of know where they're at. And so this show goes as far as the good Lord wants it to go, and so far it's growing by leaps and bounds, and we thank him for that. Here's the verse that says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I'll uphold you with my righteous right hand. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. So we want to give proper credit to the good Lord, and so there it is here on the Tom Taylor Show live at Champion Chevrolet. Ben Foy, give us a weather forecast back at the studio. It's okay out there. I thought it was going to be colder this morning. It's not. It's windy. It's going to get a little bit colder, but give us the latest forecast heading into the weekend here for our region on AM 790 WETB. Would you please, sir?
Well, right now it's 6 degrees
There you go. You know, growing up in the hills of West Virginia, we had a little bit of snow. Daddy would call it, Granny called it a skiff. You ever heard of a skiff of snow? Just a little skiff is what they would say. Little skiff, yeah. So we may get a little skiff here in the lower elevations, maybe a couple of inches in the higher elevations. But again, everything's going to be gone, as you said, 50s and even 60s by the first of the week. So, okay by me. Every day it gets this kind of weather means it's one less day in winter and a day closer to spring is the way I look at it. So that's what's going on there. Also, want to give a shout out to the American Cancer Society. Locks for Love is why we're going here. We're going to get it cut off and donated for wigs for chemotherapy and radiation. So if you're watching on Facebook Live and saying, who has that long-haired thing over there? Well, we're just for a reason, and that's to, again, make wigs out of our hair, ship it off, and they do whatever they do, weave it, spin it, whatever, to make a wig or part of a wig. Folks going through radiation and or chemotherapy. Call me a gangster. Yeah, I was over at Chick-fil-A class, and the lady said, you look like a gangster. I said, well. So I gave her my best. I said, let me make you an offer you can't refuse. Gave her my best Vito Corleone imitation. And she said, you scare me. Yeah, it is bad, isn't it? Yeah. Let me make you an offer you can't refuse. Yeah. So no, it wasn't good. And so she said, you scare me. There you have it. That's what I want to do, is go into a basketball tournament and scare people. So anyway, we're going to run down the Chick-fil-A Classic coming up here in just a few minutes and let you know who's playing who in Elizabethton for that tournament. Also, the Arby's Classic, 34th annual Arby's Classic going on as we speak again at Viking Hall in Bristol. All that coming up. We'll take a break, come right back, and our first delve into, we'll take a look at college football, the bowl games from last night. Who did what? There was a couple of upsets. Top 25 football teams, 2 of them went down last night in the bowl games. Then we'll come back and preview not 1, not 2, but 3 more bowl games coming up today, including the Hokies and the Razorbacks, one of our local teams. Of course, tomorrow, the Tennessee Volunteers taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Got a very interesting article, and we'll read parts of it to you. John Adams from the Knoxville Sentinel, who is all over Butch Jones about this team and about his career so far as the head man at Tennessee. It's an interesting article. Read parts of it. So he says the natives are restless in Knoxville. I don't know if that's the case or not, but he's down there and I'm not, so I got to go with what he says. But very interesting article we will read, rather, parts of that coming up here in a little while from John Adams, the sports writer for the Knoxville News Sentinel. Again, not that complimentary, the Butch Jones era so far of Tennessee football. Quick break, we'll be right back. We'll come right back to Champion Chevrolet. Again, we are here on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, on AM 790, Facebook Live. You, again, are watching and listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Well, either way, he stirs the pot a lot down there. I don't know. I never heard he was in his pocket. That's a good. I have no clue about that. But all right, Facebook Live, folks. Let me tell you about Champion Chevrolet. They've got some dynamite sales going on right now. The 2000 Corvette Stingrays. They've got them saving $17,000. Yes, saving $17,000 on a 2016 Corvette Stingray. Here, we've got one in the showroom. Got Stingrays. It was really cool because he said we were going to talk about the Impala. This is not an Impala on the parking lot. They've sold every Impala they had, every one of them. Wow. And so we'll talk more about that with him when he gets over in a few minutes. Also, the pick-em-up trucks, the 2017 Silverados, the 4x4 crew cabs. Let's see, you're going to save right around $5,000 or $6,000 there. Actually, going to save $8,000 on a 2017 Silverado 1500 4x4 crew cab LT. Stock number 6985. So those are just some of the deals going on. Here's the 2017 Cruise 4-door. Save $4,000 off of that. So there's lots of savings still going on as they wrap up the month here at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. So you do not want to, you don't want to miss this opportunity to come over and save big time as the year end wrapping up here, of course, this weekend. And so you would want to take advantage of that. And folks have been obviously having a big month here again at Champion Chevrolet, the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. So, got that coming up here in just a second. Come right back to you on radio and on Facebook Live. Be sure and share us. TomTaylorSports.com, our new website. Likes and share us. You've been sharing us, and it's been growing by leaps and bounds, to say the least. So we appreciate that. And you know what? I didn't put my microphone up here at the top. Better do that now. Hang on, here we go. Now, maybe a little better. Yeah. 15 seconds. Did your current temperature is what, my friend?
It is 47.
47 right now. All right.
I'm only supposed to be nice. Here we go. And you're up.
47 degrees, live at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Here we go. Power Championship song music coming up here. Again, we're live to talk a little bit about the college football scene and the bowl games from yesterday, because we had some good ones too, and a couple of upsets, as we told you. And we'll start. Oh, I hear that right there. And we'll get started. Yankee Stadium again, the Pinstripe Bowl. Justin Jackson has the last name made for the bright lights of Yankee Stadium. You remember in October, Reggie Jackson, well, Mr. December apparently is Justin Jackson. This guy ran wild yesterday, 224 yards, 3 touchdowns, Power Northwestern, to only its third bowl victory ever in the history of the school. 31-24 over number 22 Pittsburgh in the Pinstripe Bowl. Again, Jackson was the straw that stirred Northwestern's offense in the Bronx and helped his performance etch his performance alongside the 1948 Rose Bowl and the 2000 Gator Bowl victories in the program's only third ever win in a bowl game for Northwestern. And so the Wildcats finished at 7-6, great springboard, of course, recruiting. And so the Pitt Panthers did not get it done, obviously losing 31-24. Again, number 22 Pittsburgh knocked off yesterday in college football. Also, Miami fans, they are chanting one more year to the quarterback, Brad Kaya. It's Kaya and the big night yesterday as the Miami Hurricanes and Mark Richt, love that guy. Again, topping number 14 West Virginia, the Russell Athletic Bowl, 31-14. 24 out of 34 for 282 yards for Miami, who went 9-4 now in the season. 1 point. He was 18 out of 19 at one stretch of the ball game. The lone incompletion was a drop ball by one of the receivers. The 4 touchdowns tied the Miami Bowl record and his collegiate best. And so he says he's got some souls to do, but he's going to decide what he wants to do. But I know the Miami Hurricane fans, including Coach Mark Richt, says, we'd like to have this guy back. Big game yesterday put on the show in Orlando. West Virginia came in averaging more than 500 yards per game in offense. The Mountaineers got held to 229 total yards. Did a smackdown on West Virginia. Dana Holgerson, the coach of West Virginia, says best defense we faced all year. He also said they were ready to play. They outcoached us, they outplayed us on all 3 sides of the football. And so they flew back to Morgantown, not happy campers. They finished at 10-3, Miami at 9-4. So Mark Richt, again, already turning this thing around for the Miami Hurricanes, the big win over West Virginia. Of course, again, the Mountaineers coming in ball game number 14, so yet another upset. Pitt went down, West Virginia went down. Elsewhere last night, Joe Williams ran for 222 yards and a touchdown. Andy Phillips kicked a 27-yard field goal with 1:24 to play. Utah, its 14th victory in its last 15 bowl games. 26-24 over the Indiana Hoosiers in the Foster Farms Bowl last night. The Utes go 9-4, forcing 3 turnovers to spoil Tom Allen's coaching debut at Indiana and prove Utah coach Kyle Whittingham's bowl record at 10-1. Allen, interesting scenario we told you yesterday. He came up and took over the defense for Indiana. Well, the head coach walked away from the team, so they gave this guy the reins. You're going to be our coach. He's never coached in a bowl game, never coached in a game before. Allen goes to the Hoosiers, who finished 6-7 after Kevin Wilson's sudden resignation this month. Allen had finished his first season at Indiana. As the coordinator, is now tasked with rebuilding the team as he did in his 1 year with the defense. So, again, new coach, but losing yesterday, and so Utah gets a big win. Last but not least, it was last night in the bowl game, Kansas State defeating the Texas A&M Aggies, the final score of that ball game. So it was the Aggies with a big win. Kansas State with a big win over the Texas A&M Aggies, and make sure the final score of that ball game because, oh boy, I had it. What did I do with it? Let's flip it over here and look here because they did win the ball game. And let's see if I can get a final score. Of course not. It's late. Paper didn't have it pick it up. So, but I know Kansas State won the ball game over Texas A&M. So, yeah, have a big jump start for Kansas State, the Wildcats, and I apologize. I thought I had that score, and I do not. But they did win the Texas Bowl in Houston. Kansas State, Texas A&M, and the Wildcats of Kansas State beat the Aggies of Texas A&M. and another disappointing finish for Kevin Sumlin and the Texas A&M Aggies. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. We thank you for being with us. And so coming up, we've got some NASCAR news. Also going to preview bowl games for today and got some good ones. Let's see if I got it right here. There's got to be a final score of this game. As I had this earlier in the show, and I'll be a son of a gun. I don't have it. All right. So maybe I can get that from my man Ben Foy back in the home front. Texas. Yeah. Oh, you're looking for it? Okay. Texas A&M and Kansas State. And I apologize. I had it this morning. I know Texas A&M or Kansas State won the ball game, but we'll get an update coming up here as soon as my man Ben Foy works his magic again, as he does more times than not. I appreciate this guy a lot. Tom Taylor Sports Show, 3 bowl games coming up today. South Florida at South Carolina at 2 o'clock. Arkansas, Virginia Tech at 5:30 in the Belk Bowl. At 9 o'clock tonight, 2 ranked teams, Oklahoma State and Colorado, doing battle at 9 o'clock tonight in college football, the bowl preview game. So let's run those down for you as we take a break. We'll come right back and do that. Also, the man's ready to go. Andy Dietrich's going to join us coming up next. Talk a little Champion Chevrolet. We've got college football games. We'll get that final score. I know Kansas State won it. It's like 33-28, but I don't know that for sure. Was it really? Son of a gun. See, I did see it. 33-28. Kansas State beats Texas A&M. So the Aggie fan base not happy campers. I can tell you that because they laid an egg heading down the home stretch. A&M did not finish strong at all again from Sumlin and his football program. So I would say there's some uneasiness right now in College Station with the Aggies going down in the flames. 3-28 to Kansas State. Kansas State finishing very, very strong, winning, 6 of the last 7 now to finish the season for veteran coach Bill Snyder. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk Andy Dietrich from Champion Chevrolet joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on AM 790, Facebook Live, and also on WETB 790 Tom. You're listening to and watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
No microphone today?
We're going to try this one. People tell me you can't hear it as well. I don't know. So, give it a whirl. I knew I had that score. Damn, plus 33-28. Yeah. Pick and panel. All right. Now I got hello, Facebook folks. How are you? We're Champion Chevrolet. Be sure and share us and like us. Let's see if I get a big 10-4 on this guy's headset. Got me?
10-4.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
He's a piece of work. Hello, good buddy. You give me a swig of water here. Got a tickle.
That's orange water. Is that volunteer water?
Mm-mm. That's West Virginia swamp water.
That'll make you tough.
That'll make me sound like Rick Spivey. Yeah. Tyler. Little Ricky Sicky.
He sends love from Christmas. That's
Oh, I'm
all.
sure. I'm sure. There's only one. I'll tell you that.
He well behaved the other day.
He must have been told before he went in.
Yeah, Sandy had a little talk with him.
She is, when we did the ball games together, oh, she who must be obeyed. That's what he would tell her to her face. And she said, "Yeah, you're right, Rick." So, love him to death. He's a good one. All right, we got this one first chronologically, then this one. So 33-20. Let me get this stuff out of your way.
Got a fire hazard up here.
Yeah, it's lots of information. Fire hazard. Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him. Fire hazard. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Is that too loud on your earpiece? I got to run her hot because I'm deaf. You all right?
I'm gonna manage. I'm gonna pull this one.
Pull it
off.
down. Pull down for you. I can do it.
Just can't
too
hear you
far?
at all now.
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Right there.
Right there.
All right. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet in the Motor Mile, Johnson City. It's turned around so we can see the man, the myth, the legend, and there he is. Are you there?
Yes, with a headset on this.
There you go.
Whoa. Ouch, that hurt.
Experiment didn't work. There you go. Are you on?
Yeah.
My bad. All right, take it away, my friend. You've had a phenomenal month. First off, this thing's been hopping and rocking and rolling, whatever adjective you want to use. you've been smoking it as far as sales, right?
Over 200 vehicles delivered so far, and our Chevrolet month doesn't end until January 3rd, so because of the holidays. So it's been a great month. We've been very blessed, and it has been a wild one. It's from day one. I've sort of hopped in the seat and strapped in and took off like a roller coaster.
There you go. And that's a good thing. Now, you were telling me before the show that a lot of the trucks you were promoting gone. The Impalas are gone. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've sold so many Impalas this month. We don't even have one left on the lot. We've got some coming in. You know, we can take deposits on stuff we've got coming in, but inventory-wise, we don't have one sitting on the ground.
Wow.
It's a good problem, I guess.
That is a great problem
Yeah.
to have. So we can give you a sticker or whatever. What would you give a little rain check? Give
Yes.
you an Impala rain
Yes,
check.
I'll give them an Impala rain check.
That's awesome. We're talking to Andy Dietrich again from Champion Chevrolet. We're live here on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Here comes our guest, our buddy David Crum from the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency. He's going to talk to us about the woods and what's coming up. So we got the pick and pound too. We're playing for Banana Pudding this week. So
Ooh, I love banana.
Oh, I do too. So did you have a good Christmas, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Haley will have to come back on and tell the world that I did a little bit better than what she
Beef sticks and a magazine.
Yeah, she threw me under the bus last week and said, just Reese's Cups and People Magazine.
Beef
and
jerky or beef
jerky.
sticks and a People
I
magazine.
did get her that stuff, but I did get her a purse and some clothes too. But she doesn't ever talk about that.
No,
She just,
no, I understand. So she just wanted to throw you under the bus.
yeah, she had the opportunity and she did it.
She did a pretty good job too. So we're talking to Andy Dietrich. We do have the picking panel again. Crumbs here. We've got again some great ball games, including what they were going to pick here in just a few minutes. But let's jump in there and go, my friend. Tell us about Champion Chevrolet. You've got some great deals going on. Tell us about it.
The best deal that I'm seeing now, our newspaper ad comes out tomorrow in Johnson City in the Kingsport paper, and we'll also have it posted tomorrow at some point in time on our website. But looks like the best deal on here that I've seen, it keeps jumping out at me. If you've ever wanted a Corvette, in the 10 years we've been here, I've never seen one discounted this much. It's a brand new Corvette discounted $17,230. It's our last 16 in stock. $17,230 off. It stickers for $75,225. With that discount, it brings it down to $57,995. That is not a deal. That's brand new, and none of us have ever driven it. So it's an incredible deal. But some of the other deals we've got going on today, I've got.
Now, wait a minute. How many of those do you have left?
Oh, just one. That's the last 16.
That's it? What color?
Gosh, don't ask me that. I think it's black.
Doesn't matter for 17,000.
You don't.
Whatever
It doesn't matter.
color, just go with it.
When you go that fast, you can't see what color
That's
it is.
exactly
anyway.
right. And you're saving that kind of money off of a vet. Who cares what color
Well,
it
it
is?
helps you get rid of your wrinkles too when you're going on that enclosure.
Well, then I need one.
Yeah.
All right. That'll look good because if I got it, you know what I'd put on the front of it? A big old what kind of emblem? There's only one pro football team.
The Raiders.
The Raiders. The Oakland Raiders. There you go. So, yeah, it would look good. A black vet with a big Raiders
You don't need to get rid of your wrinkle. I mean, that Botox you had done last week, it really helped improve your image, especially on Facebook Live.
It does, and I drank bottles of that, so we'll see how it goes, that Botox.
Is that why you're glowing in the dark?
Chocolate flavored
Yeah.
Botox. Oh, my man Dietrich. So, what else going on? We got
Well, I've got 2017 Silverado 1500 All-Star Crew Cab LT, $8,000 off. I've got a 2017 Silverado 25 HD 4x4, $5,580 off. I also have on here another great deal. We've talked about this being year-end. A 2017 Express Van Cargo. That's a big cargo van for $8,000 off. So if you've got a business that you need to spend some money before year end because of taxes, this is, if you're distributing merchandise or making deliveries every day, $8,000 off. It's a $32,270 van for $24,270, brand new, no miles on it. A really, really good deal. And then something else that just popped up that's going to show on the ad tomorrow and online and in the newspaper. We've got a 2016 new Chevrolet Trax. $21,195 MSRP. We're discounting at $6,359, all the way down to $14,836. That's a small SUV, brand new, $14,836.
Talking to Andy Dietrich from Champion Chevrolet, David Crum, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer, coming up here in just a few minutes, joining what's going on in the woods and waterways. And the obvious for this time of year, and today is a classic example, today and tomorrow, is hypothermia. Going to be out there and how to make sure you don't get out there and get in because you're underdressed in the woods. And so he's going to tell us all about that because that's very critical. We've had people go through, as he said, over the years he's been a Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Hypothermia has been a problem for some folks, and so we want to make sure when you guys are going and ladies are going to be out hunting or fishing, which folks are doing this time of year, dress properly. Also, the hunting seasons, what's going to be available, what you can still go out and harvest here in late December. So all that's coming up here in a few minutes. Also previewing the 3 bowl games. Any surprises? You've been watching any of the bowl games? Any surprises so far of any of the teams?
I have to admit, I haven't watched.
It's too many.
No, it's too many. Well, I mean,
And you're busy.
No, I've been busy. I've been working ever since Monday. We were off closed Saturday, we were closed Sunday, but putting kids' presents together and working and just doing the honey-do lists, and it's been a wild week. I haven't had time to turn on the TV.
So what kind of toys did you put together, Mr. Dietrich?
Well,
and what was the frustration level in 1 to 10? Did you get worked up?
Not too bad. I mean, something broke a little bit of a sweat. I guess a couple of hairs fell out of my head. But, my son got a drone. We've not gotten a flight yet. I don't think we're going to fly today because it is windy out. But, my daughter got an iWatch, or the Apple iWatch. So getting it all set up and getting it to, she's going to actually teach. I've got one. I've had one for about 6 months. She's going to have to teach me, really. I mean, kids and electronics, and I thought I knew something and I don't, but just little odds and ends. And we've had lots of family to the house, and Haley's birthday was the day after Christmas, and just doing with that. I haven't had time to watch football. I love football, but hopefully this weekend I'll get to watch it.
Let me ask you about the game tomorrow. Again, we'll get back to the Cars here in just a second. Butch Jones and the Tennessee Volunteers taking on Nebraska. I think we talked this yesterday at Chick-fil-A with a couple of UT guys. I think this is a very critical game for Jones in a lot of respects, that he's got to get down tomorrow and stop a run-oriented offense, which they haven't the last 3 games. So, the spotlight's going to be, if you will, on the Tennessee defense. Can they beat Nebraska tomorrow? What do you think?
I'm going to say they are. The pressure is on Butch and the team. I think this is, I think that Butch next year, if he doesn't, really improve, and, everybody really anticipating a great year this year. It started out good, and it sort of just nosedived. Had a couple exciting wins, but it let down too as you popped your bubble. But I think they're going to win tomorrow. I think they've had plenty of time to rest, practice, regroup, and I think they're going to come out and win it.
One of the problems going on down there, and of course we talked to Kevin Harmon's got his ear to the ground down there, and also Dave Angie yesterday in our show at Chick-fil-A. Both those guys said, look, he's made some changes just to save face. Somebody's got heads are going to roll down there because they've underachieved. The problem with it is you have a lame duck athletic director and a lame duck president, so nobody really say, okay, we want to bring in Andy Dietrich and Tom Taylor's coaches. We're gone. Dave Hart's out. Jimmy Cheek's out, the chancellor. So the new chancellor can leave in March, and the new AD's not been named. Everybody says it's going to be this Blackburn gentleman from Chattanooga, but he's not there yet. So Butch wants to make changes. I don't know who's going to pull the trigger to let these guys go and pay them off and bring in the new ones, and he needs that right in the middle of recruiting season to show the fan base and some of the recruits that we're making changes. So there's a lot of off-the-field kind of what-ifs and question marks for the program. On the field, they've got to stop a very good Nebraska football team that runs it and runs it well. And went back and looked, the last 3 games, Tennessee gave up over 1,000 yards of rushing offense to Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Missouri. So, tall task tomorrow for the Volunteers. This is going to be one of our pick and panel games. And, of course, on the other side of the ledger, today, the Belk Bowl, you got Virginia Tech trying to stop the biggest offensive line. And you read all the hype about this game. Arkansas is not getting much at all. It's all about Evans and Virginia Tech and Justin Fuente, which is deservedly so. But Arkansas's got the biggest offensive line in college football. Those guys are mammoths. So, they may be quietly sitting over like a Cheshire cat getting ready to knock off Tech. But that's going to be this afternoon, the Belk Bowl in Charlotte. We are talking to our buddy Andy Dietrich. So you want to do pick and panel now?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Pick and panel. Number 1, the obvious Tennessee, Nebraska. You said you would go with
Tennessee.
Going with Tennessee. All right, let's put Andy D. He's taking UT. All right, today Virginia Tech, the Hokies, and Arkansas.
Virginia Tech.
Taking Va Tech, Alabama, Washington, New Year's Eve.
That's going to be Alabama.
All the way. That's a butt whooping coming. Clemson and Ohio State.
I'm going to say Clemson. I mean, they've had a lot of close games this year, but Clemson.
All right.
I'm going to pull it out.
Orange Bowl, Florida State, the Seminoles, and the Michigan Wolverines.
I'm going to say Florida State.
Taking FSU for some banana pudding. Rose Bowl, Penn State and Southern Cal.
I'm going to say Penn State.
All right. Good job. And let's see, the Sugar Bowl, Oklahoma and Auburn.
Auburn.
Taking Auburn, all right. And then you have the Outback Bowl, Florida Gators and the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Gators.
Taking the Gators, all right. There your picking panel's done for Andy Dietrich. All right, so we talked about you've already delivered 200 vehicles. Is that new or used or combined?
That's new and used combined so far, but we've got about 130 of those new so far this month.
So there are obviously some pre-owns out on the lot. Tell us about some of the pre-owns right now.
If you're needing, if you don't want to spend the money or don't have the money to spend on a new car right now, we do have a slew of used one-owner, locally owned, pre-owned vehicles that we can provide a story about. You can talk to the previous owner, you can get a Carfax and feel good about it and see how the customer actually took care of the car. And if it's a Chevrolet vehicle and they've had it serviced here the whole time, we can show you the service records too. And like we've talked about before, a lot of these car conglomerate stores, they buy all their cars at auction, and you can't find out anything about how they were taken care of and talk to the previous owner, but you can with most of the vehicles we have.
When I bought mine here, the first thing I asked was the obvious: who owned this car? And before I could even get out of my mouth, Ron Dunn said, well, by the way, here's the report of the car, and the maintenance vehicle, and the maintenance records, and who had it, and how long they had it. It was a printout, not just somebody scribbled down on a legal pad. It was hand. I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. And so you do that with all the vehicles, and you do differ from those mass merchandise places, because you do take in the local one-owner vehicles more times than not, and you find out what's going on with them, and you get a history of them, right?
Yes, yeah. When every used vehicle we trade for, we do run it through our service department. If it is a Chevrolet vehicle and it's under a certain mileage requirement and year requirement, we certify it through Chevrolet, so you get an additional 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty at the end of regular warranty, and then also 2 years of free maintenance as well with it. So, but yeah, it's you're sort of taking a gamble when you buy a car that's been in auction. And every once in a while I'll back up and say every once in a while we do fill holes in our used car inventory. We buy program cars that are like rental units and things like that, just because some people want those, and we do need to fill holes, and we do that. Sometimes Impalas or Equinoxes, or even some of the car vans. If we have plenty of new ones, but sometimes to get used ones that people haven't driven the wheels off of, we will buy program ones, and they're great bargains as well. I've got about some out here. So, and the rental ones, rental programs like Enterprise and Hertz, they put them through a strict mandatory process. Every several thousand miles they change the oil and rotate the tires. So we feel good about those, or we wouldn't sell them.
I'm looking right out I see the vet you're talking about. I think it's that one right outside the showroom looking on the lot. It's a black one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the puppy that's $17,000 off,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. You're talking about Aerostream and going down the highway in a Corvette.
Well, we've got, I think, 15 Corvettes in stock right now. They're wrapped in the showroom, all around the showroom. We're getting ready. We're anticipating. We're excited for spring, even though we're just now diving in the winter. But we've got great deals on vets. That's the only one, but that's the best deal that stands out, because that is our last remaining 2016 model. So $17,230 off our last one.
Last question, let you go. Got Crum waiting in the wings here. We're live with Champion Chevrolet. In my travels, I see and feel an air of optimism in this region, and I guess nationally in this country. I guess for President-elect Trump, or whatever the reason, the fact that Obama's going out and Trump's coming in, I don't know if whatever it is, but I feel an air of optimism in the country that I haven't seen for a while. Is that translated over on the car lot too?
I do believe so. I believe there are some people that have been holding on to their money, and you can see that in the stock market. They're buying stock, and you can see where it's the resurgence of that, and the stock market's hit a new record. No matter who voted for, I think this nation needs to come together and pray for our new president that's going to be sworn in here very shortly, here in a little over 20 days. And no matter who you voted for, we just need to pray for him and hope he makes the right decisions and surrounds himself with the right people to do great things for our country, because we all need it. I don't care what your beliefs are. Our country needs to be one of to be the best in the world, and, in everything that we do and everything we sell and make and how we're here. And, I'm blessed to be here.
To use a Raiders' commitment to excellence is what we need to do as the United States. And so I'm right there with you. Good job. Appreciate you. You want to come back in a little while?
I'll be here all day.
You'll be back in a little while. And also, Mr. Tim be back in a little while, too, coming in from the Arby's.
Yeah, you're going to make fun of us because we wear the exact same shirt today. Mine's checkered pink and white, and his is a sort of a darker pink and white, and it's actually Brandon's shirt. So we've been giving grief. Oh, and I'll bring the bobbleheads back.
I want you to bring the bobbleheads back.
We'll have the bobbleheads.
Yes.
My parts manager, Chris Bird, had bobbleheads made. He sent pictures off, had our heads sculpted.
Yep.
And you can record things that we say.
Yes.
And so that'll be on the show later.
Definitely, because you hear what he says about Tim. It's good stuff. And, of course, you know what Tim's going to say. How do we do that? But that's not what Andy's bobblehead doll says. We'll get him back in here in a little while. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet. Quick break. We'll be right back. David Crum, to be exact. The man has a first name. We've been together 14 years, getting ready to click off our 15th year together. Crum will join us coming up next. We'll let him crow about the Steelers, get that out of the way, and then we'll talk about the TWRA. We'll do that right after this. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, again on Facebook, but also on AM 790 WETB. Hi, good morning, Facebook folks. Again, we're live at Champion Chevrolet. Be sure and go to our new website page, TomTaylorSports.com. Like us and share us. That's the big thing, and you have been, and we thank you for that. Like us and share us, again, the Facebook page, and we will thank you ahead of time for that. Also coming up, we're going to preview the bowl games. We've got 3 bowl games coming up. The South Florida, South Carolina game, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, then also really good one tonight, Oklahoma State and Colorado. Not the other two aren't good, but that last game is going to be involving 2 ranked teams. So we've got some NFL. Belichick is not happy with Rex Ryan getting fired. He has a kind of a statement to send out to owners and general managers of NFL football teams about the quick hook of coaches, which I thought was interesting. He is not a big fan, or I don't think he's been a big fan in years past, of Rex Ryan, and yet he kind of defended the guy for getting canned so quickly. I don't know if you saw the story, but he got fired over Twitter. It's kind of gutless, to say the least. And so he's out driving around in a Buffalo Bills truck in Buffalo, finds out on Twitter that he and his brother both got fired by the Bills management. So they weren't even given the courtesy. He may have known it was coming, but he wasn't given the courtesy to and sit down man to man and say, hey, you ain't getting it done. So what was he, 16 and 18 over 2 seasons, I believe? And so this canned the guy was riding around in Buffalo Bills truck. He found out on Twitter. Not how you do that. And I think Belichick, that's where he's going off on that. It's not so much you get fired as part of the business, but how he got fired and how he was treated. And it is Bush League. So anyway, we'll read that story coming up here in a little while. Big night of college basketball last night. 3 upsets in college hoops. So we'll have all that for you coming up here in a few minutes. Ben Foy, everything good back on the home front, my friend? Okay. Michael, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile. Johnson City has turned around. Let's let you see this big old handsome rascal right here. This will be our buddy David Crum, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency Officer. Good morning, sir. How might you be?
I'm doing just fine, Tom. I can't believe that somebody got fired over Twitter.
Can you believe that?
I mean, that's almost like back in the day you fax them something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No phone call, no sit down. Used to binding contracts were a handshake and met face to face. You look a man in the eyes and you shake his hand.
What you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
So I think that's what Belichick, again, the fact they got canned, that's part of the business. They come and they go and they're going to fire the coach before they fire the players. It's just the way it goes in baseball, basketball, wherever. But the way you do it, and apparently that's, of course, I'm getting this second hand there, obviously, but all the reports say he was let go via Twitter. So, or Facebook.
I hope that's incorrect.
Well, I do too. And I'm going to try and delve into that tonight and get for sure. But That's what I've been hearing, and that's what's out there. It's how he was let go. So if, in fact, that was the case, I know when he found out he was driving around a Buffalo Bills truck, Buffalo. So he wasn't even in the office. So when
Wow.
he got canned, and so, if I'm working for Champion, they let me go, I'm more than likely ain't going to be driving a Champion car around after I got let go. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely not.
So the reason I say that was a hypothetical, of course, but the reason I say that, more than likely that's what happened, because he was, in fact, driving a Buffalo Bills truck when they let him go. Whether the guy's the worst coach in the world or the best coach, that ain't how you do it.
He's still a human being.
Still a human being.
Still a human being. Even though he's not produced winning seasons for you, but he's still done a lot of work.
There you go.
He's done a lot of
And his
work.
brother, too.
He and
Can
his
the
brother
both.
both have done a lot of work, investing time, effort, getting players, and putting in the time, the coach time.
If, in fact, that's what happened, and I don't have any reason to believe that it hasn't, then that may tell me a lot why the Buffalo Bills have missed the playoffs for the 17th straight year. That's how they operate up there in Buffalo,
Yeah.
how you do your coach. Again, he could be the worst coach. He obviously was not that effective. They did not do well. But they're 7-8, playing the Jets 4-11. That's final game of the year. Talked about this earlier in the week. Why do you fire a coach with one game left in the season? I mean, at this point, it's one more game, play out the string, and then let him go. But they can't even. So anyway, Belichick's going to talk about that. I got an article coming up here in a few minutes. And we'll talk about the Steelers. They've got the Browns coming up, right? Hugh Jackson
Browns
says.
coming up, and they're sitting Bell and Roethlisberger down
Yeah, for the playoffs.
for the
Gonna get-
playoffs. Keep them healthy. Because Roethlisberger's knee is
Iffy.
He tweaked it.
Yeah.
He did it last game, and I tell you that I was tickled to death. I called my brother to tell him Merry Christmas. Was talking to him and told him I was sitting there watching the Steelers getting beat, and then next thing I know, it starts turning around. I was excited.
Hugh Jackson says, I got a story about this too. The coach of the Browns, if they don't go hot, they go in and kind of lay an egg by design, sets them up for the number one draft choice. It's going to be between them and the 49ers. Hugh Jackson says, we ain't laying no eggs. Our going to Pittsburgh beat the Steelers. We don't lay eggs. We don't go in and give you a half.
It's a big rivalry.
Oh, yeah. But
Huge.
I like the fact that he says we're not going to go in and lay down, get steamrolled so we get the number one draft choice next year. Our goal is to go on that field and win football games. I like that. So,
Yeah.
Steelers and the Browns.
They showed it the other week when they
Oh, yeah.
actually won their game, so they didn't produce a big goose egg in the win column.
Yep. And they beat the Chargers, which is not that big a deal, but they won. And the point is, he's not going to Pittsburgh with ideas of just taking one for the team. He's going to Pittsburgh. He said, we're going to get off that plane. Our goal, whether we do it or not, our goal for the Cleveland Brown organization is to win the game, not roll over and play dance and we get the number one draft choice. It ain't going to happen. So we'll run down the NFL coming up here in a few minutes. Got some other stories about the NFL. Also, some NASCAR news coming up. This is our man, David Crum, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Prime time to talk about hypothermia. This is almost setting up for a perfect opportunity to get hypothermia with the dropping temperatures, the cold weather, and the wind. So
The wind.
we talk about it all the time, but it's very, very important. You have told me over the 14 years, you folks have went out and found people that have got into hypothermia situations. So it's out there. It's something we need to address, and I don't think we can talk about it enough. Tell us about hypothermia.
Well, hypothermia is one of those things that can sneak up on you. And a day like today, it's 46 degrees, so you may dress one way thinking it's going to be this way outside, 46, 47 degrees, and then you step outside and that wind gust up to 20 miles an hour, drops the wind chills down into the 30s. You get outside. I've actually seen some people that have been out today running and bicycling. Some people are out fishing, and there are people out hunting today. But you have to dress properly for it. Dress in layers, a good quality layer. Polypropylene, something that wicks moisture away from your skin, because that moisture, once the wind hits that moisture, it'll cool you off quickly. Of course, you sweat to cool your body off to begin with. But a good polypropylene layer, a good wind-breaking layer, something lined with Gore-Tex, some good kind of layer that'll keep that wind off of you, because the wind chill right now will slice right through you. It may be 46, 47 degrees outside, but you step outside, and unless you're an Eskimo trying to fly a kite, you don't want to stay outside very long.
Nope. And it's going to get colder as the day goes on.
It's going to get colder as the day goes on, calling for potential snow flurry, or as you said earlier, a skiff of snow.
A little skiff.
Little skiff of snow.
Little skiff, yep.
Little snow. So dressing good proper layers, good base layer, and dressing some good layers on top of that. And one of the advantages of layering system is you end up capturing air pockets in between those layers, and that helps warm stuff up because this layer may not hold in as much heat. You put another layer on top of it. It's just like insulating your house. You put several different layers on there, and it helps insulate everything. If you look at Good Lord Above has done amazing things, well, does amazing things each and every minute of the day. But if you look at an animal, one of the things that when we show, take the bone box to some of these school groups and we show them the different furs, a beaver's a really good example. You can pull back all the guard hairs on a beaver, and then you see this really thick undercoat of a beaver, which is one of the reasons they were highly prized for their pelt to make clothes, because it was a natural layering system that the Good Lord Above designed, and I'm pretty sure that's how humans got the idea of layering up, putting on an extra layer. But put this extra layer on, keep your head covered, keep your feet covered, keep your extremities covered up. They say that if your core good and warm, your extremities stay warmer. So keep your core warm, avoid dehydrating liquids such as alcohol, which gives you a false sense of warmth. Caffeine, any caffeinated drinks. Caffeinated drinks can actually dehydrate you also. That means tea. Of course, sodas, avoid those. Drink some good quality drinks just like you would if you were out in the summertime.
Water.
Water
Works.
Water's good.
Folks tell me they don't like water. It's bland. Well, I'm sitting there. I put some orange stuff and
you can put some flavor in it.
Absolutely. Water is good. Good for the old body. Rehydrates it. And water is good for your body in a lot of ways, including, as you said, keeping you hydrated and having that in your system versus a carbonated or caffeinated drink. We're talking to David Crum, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Coming up, we're going to be delving into the Arby's Classic, also the Chick-fil-A Classic tournament going on in Elizabethton, the Andrew Johnson Bank Ladies Classic in Greenville, also the Grand Holiday Classic UVA Wise in Virginia. A lot of holiday basketball tournaments going on. We'll give you the very latest on those coming up in a little while. Also, big night. College basketball had 3 upsets last night. A ranked team, so we'll go through that coming up here in a little while as well.
I was in Greenville last night and sat down and ate with my brother and sister-in-law, and I went down and ate with them, and one of the teams came in and couldn't figure out why there's such a long wait at Fats where we stopped to eat. And next thing you know, you look up and you see all these 6-foot-tall girls dressed in warm-up suits, and you're like, what in the world? And also my brother said, oh, hey, the basketball tournament's going on. And it's in the chicken.
Oh, yeah, which is good for the golfers. That's good for the Chamber of Commerce folks, loving us when these teams come in and spending money in our restaurants and our hotels and putting gas in our vehicles, these out-of-town guests with these tournaments. So there's a restaurants benefiting from it there in Greenville. So we'll run down all the scores for you. You've got, and of course today's schedules of those games at those particular tournaments. Mr. Crum, in the woods right now, the final days of December, what might we go out and harvest in the woods of Tennessee?
Well, we're in the latter part of the winding down on the deer gun season. The deer gun season goes on through January 8th, and then we've got a young sportsman only hunt January 14th through the 15th. Now, the young sportsman hunt, remind folks that to participate in it, the youth has to be age 6 through 16, be accompanied by a non-hunting adult, age 21 years of age or older, that take immediate control of the hunting implement, whatever they're taking, whether it be archery equipment, muzzleloader equipment, or modern firearm. So with this young sportsman hunt, you can take multiple youths now. That changed a couple years ago. Used to, it was only a one-on-one situation, but they've changed that over to where you can actually take more than one youth now on that young sportsman only, as long as you're qualified. But the gun season ends on January 8th, so we've still got another week or so going on with that. And then also we've got small game seasons going on. Believe it or not, we have a late dove season going on. It opened up December 8th, goes through January 15th, and then we've also got the small game seasons that go to the end of February, such as quail and rabbit and grouse, and squirrel season going on. And also we've got waterfowl season. I've actually checked some waterfowl hunters out there. They've really enjoyed some of this colder weather, this rainy, colder weather. Usually nastier weather is better waterfowl hunting. The waterfowl season goes on through January 29th. That's for ducks and geese going on right now around the area. Of course, we don't have a whole lot of water in some areas. Even some of the ponds are low right now because of lack of rainfall for so long.
I was going to ask you about places like Boone Lake. We're talking to David Crum that got dropped down anyway because of the dam being broke and they're repairing the dam. On that, we've had a drought. We're in a drought, although this rain's certainly helping it. We thank the good Lord for that. But is the water even down lower than normal this time of year for Boone Lake, given the fact that it's down because of the dam and because of the lack of rainfall?
If I'm not mistaken, TVA is trying to keep Boone Lake at a very tight fluctuation as far as it fluctuates a couple of feet right now. They're trying to keep it at wind pool all the time. So it's not really, it still gets influx from the Holston River and also the Watauga River. So they're trying to keep it set at a set level right now. And it's pretty much about where it was all summer long.
Last but not least, again, we've covered the fishing. It's out there right now, but I would think it's kind of, people are doing it, just not as much as in summertime because of the weather, obviously. So, but there are folks out there fishing, right?
There are folks out there fishing, and believe it or not, you can imagine if it's cold out, standing out. If we stand outside the doors here at Champion Chevrolet when the wind starts cutting through you, you can imagine going out on the lake where there's nothing to block the wind at all, and take a little boat ride. It would be a very chilly boat ride.
Fly fishing. Do folks get out with waders in the middle of the rivers this time of year and fly fish?
Yes, they do.
You are kidding me.
I'm not kidding at all.
Wow.
Insulated waders, they get out there. It's dedication.
That would be the right way to describe it. Dedication to have.
Kind of like a dedicated, a Raiders fan.
That's it, baby.
Be dedicated.
That's it. Win, lose time, or Raider till I die. Matt McGloin, the new quarterback, because Derek Carr broke his leg, and we'll be all right. This guy's going to get a chance to show himself, and there's been in a college scenario, I go back and think of a guy named T. Martin got handled the football because of an injury down in Knoxville and led him to a national championship. So everybody's saying the Raiders are done because Derek Carr is gone. Be a drop off. Who's going to play Mr. Roethlisberger for the Steelers? See, he's not going to play much. So who's that guy going to be?
I don't know.
Is it? Is it Mallett? Is it Ryan Mallett, the kid from Arkansas? He was out. I can't remember. I'd have to double check. I don't know who the Steelers quarterback. But the point is, they're arresting Roethlisberger to get him ready for the playoffs. But this guy gets a chance to show his stuff.
That's right.
Go back to last year to Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler, who ends up being a bust in Houston, got benched. But when Manning was hurt, this guy stepped up for the Broncos and made a name for himself and made this huge contract Texans. So you just never know. And so with Roethlisberger down, you could see a new quarterback developing.
Look at Dallas right now.
Look at Dallas. Perfect example.
That's a perfect example.
Prescott.
Right now. Watched him the other night, and it just, he's very poised.
Mm-hmm.
He's very poised in there, and they've talked about, well, why don't you bring Romo in and rest Prescott? And they're like, why? You got to keep the timing going.
Don't mess up the chemistry. That's what Jerry Jones pretty much said. Also, Jason Garrett, the coach, said we're going to ride this horse that got us here. So if he goes down, we've got Romo ready. And Romo said, hey, ride it because I don't want to mess up the chemistry. I want a ring. So, and he's going to get regardless. He wants a Super Bowl ring. So it's a very good point. Prescott. And so McGloin will go for the Raiders and the Steelers. And let's face it, Roethlisberger's long in the tooth. He can't keep going forever. He's winding down a great career. So they're going to have to get somebody ready to go. So
they're going to have to get somebody ready to go. No offense to Big Ben because he's an amazing quarterback. Still shows a lot of poise in the pocket. Still very mobile. And for a big man, I tell you, he does well.
Yes, he does.
He does really well. But he is, it kind of reminds me of a Brett Favre, towards the end of the career, towards the latter parts of the career. Don't know how much more Roethlisberger's got to go. But he's still doing what he normally does. He just isn't doing it quite as well as he did back in the day.
Before I let you go, Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin does not mind the franchise Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Bradshaw criticize his performance. It comes with the job. Bradshaw likened Tomlin to a cheerleader, however. Now, that's another matter. Tomlin said Bradshaw's comments last week describing Tomlin as a no more than a rah-rah guy fall more into the area of disrespect and unprofessional. Tomlin, one of 8 coaches in NFL history to win at least 100 games in his first seasons. Steelers wrapped up the 5th AFC North title of Tomlin's decade-long tenure with a win over Baltimore on Sunday. Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls with the Steelers. He said he didn't view Tomlin as a great coach. Why would Terry Bradshaw say that? Who cares?
I don't even know why you'd make a comment like that.
I mean, what's the point? You should
I've
be
got a lot
cheering
of
for
respect
this.
for Terry Bradshaw,
Yeah.
but comments like that just don't.
There's no need
That's
for
kind
it.
of like, if there's no chaos going on, why stir the pot?
There you go. So,
Why create chaos? Some people live for stuff like that. Bradshaw's never been one that I remember that has been like that. But for him to criticize Tomlin openly,
Yeah.
like that, that's not a very.
I don't get
It's
it.
not good sportsmanship.
Yeah, what's the point? What does it
Compare
accomplish?
him to a cheerleader.
Yeah. Says he's nothing more than a rock sideline. He says, and it proves in the pudding, one of 8 coaches in NFL history to win 100 games in his first 10 seasons. So you can do it. Side all you want to, take your shoes off, do West Virginia math. That's 10 wins a season, the average. So, proofs in the pudding. He's a little bit more than a rah-rah guy. So,
Well, I mean, look at the history of the NFL coaches. If you look at the history of the Pittsburgh coaches, you've got Noel, which was the man, obviously, and then you've got
Cowher.
yes, Cowher, and then Tomlin, and that's it for the last how many decades?
Ain't too shabby, my friend.
That's not too bad.
No. So,
That's not too bad at all.
I don't get it. I mean, I read this and I thought, Terry, why, buddy? Why would you criticize the current coach? You paint him in the corner. All he can do is come back and defend himself because you've said he's nothing more than a rah-rah coach, and he's averaging 10 wins a season. And the guy's got him, they won another title. What was it I read? Wrapped up their 5th AFC North title under Tomlin in 10 years. He's more than a rah-rah guy.
That's not bad.
No. So I don't know whether it's professional jealousy. I don't know what it is.
He's going to find out on Twitter
Nah.
if something happens.
No. So anyway, that coming out of the Steelers camp, they do have the Browns coming up on Sunday. Before I let you go, give us that hook, my friend, as you always do. And we appreciate you coming by on a busy day. The woods and waterways are busy this time of year. And so folks are out there still moving around, as he said, fishing and hunting. So
If they're not watching football,
if you're not watching football, they're out there in the woods and waterways. So give us that famous, would you please?
remember, folks, get your kids hooked on hunting and fishing, and you don't have to worry as much about them getting hooked on other things. And safe boating saves lives.
Here you go. Talk to you next week. My friend, job.
Sounds good to me.
Have a good, happy New Year's.
How's that picking panel going?
Oh, yes, you're right.
Oh.
You're right. Forgot about the picking panel for banana pudding. Here we go. Virginia Tech and Nebraska. I'm sorry, Tennessee, Nebraska in the Music City Bowl.
Tennessee.
Taking UT, Virginia Tech and Arkansas today in the bowl in Charlotte.
I'll go with Virginia Tech.
Go Hokies, all right. Alabama, Washington in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
That's a no-brainer right there. Go with the machine, Alabama.
Is a machine. You got it. Fiesta Bowl, Clemson, Ohio State.
I think Clemson can take them.
There you go.
That's just miles.
That's all we're looking for. Banana pudding is what's riding on this. Orange Bowl, Florida State and Michigan in the Orange Bowl.
I'll go with Florida State.
Going with the Seminoles.
As bad as I hate to, I'll go with Florida State, and I'll go with Florida State because of their coach.
Rose Bowl, Penn State, Southern Cal.
Penn State.
Penn State. All right. Nobody's picking Southern Cal. It's interesting. Sugar Bowl, Oklahoma and Auburn.
Auburn.
Taking the
Auburn has really awakened toward the end of the season.
Yeah, and this guy was in trouble losing his job, Gus Malzahn. So done a great round at Auburn, and they're playing in the Sugar Bowl with a lot of visibility, a lot of money coming to go out and get more recruits. Outback Bowl, Florida and Iowa.
Florida.
The Gators. There you go.
Like I said, as bad as I hate to, I'm going to pick the Florida.
Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Alabama, Clemson, Florida State, Penn State, Auburn, and Florida. I get them?
Yeah, you got them.
Give me some taters, Bubba. You're the man.
You go.
Happy New Year's to you and the missus and all the folks that are tied into the David Crum family tree. Happy New Year's to all you all.
The kids are enjoying a cruise right now down in the Bahamas.
Really?
So me and Mama are home alone.
There you go.
It's been kind of quiet at that house.
I'd say.
It's
There you go.
definitely different.
Chestnuts roasting on the open fire. There you go.
Far.
Cruising. See, I'll cruise out here in the fields. I'll cruise out here on the Bristol Highway. That's my cruise. Or cruise Broad Street or Stone Drive.
I've been on one cruise in my life, and that was it was an experience.
Yeah.
An experience. You leave temperatures like this in the in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, and then you go to the Caribbean or Caribbean, and it's in the 80s, and the humidity's high, and this poor little East Tennessee fella succumbed to a massive sinus infection during that made for a unique cruise.
Oh, I'm sure. Out of the ocean with a sinus infection.
Oh yeah.
Yeehaw, yippee skippy. So,
Yay.
talk to you next week.
Sounds good.
Good man right there. Happy New Year. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to switch in and get rolling. We got more sports. Hello, Jay Johnson. Thank you, my friend, for being with us. Appreciate that very much. We'll take a break. We got lots of sports to jump in here and go for right after this timeout, including college football, including college basketball. The National Hockey League, the NBA, got some NASA news. Get ready. We're going to strap it on and go next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Champion Chevrolet, again on AM 790 WETB. Mr. Foy, would you please give me the time so I can set my timer for the new year? I'm sure we're past 12 o'clock.
12:01:30.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to set it for what? Let's set it for 58. I get this. My buddy down in Greenville says, I love when you do this timer. You can hear it on Facebook. I said, got to do what you got to do, man. 58, would that be good, Mr. Ben?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Just tell me when to hit it and I'll hit it.
How about now?
That'll work. She's hit. We're rolling. So, all right, Bubba. Facebook Live. Again, thanks, David Crum, stopping by here. He does a great job. Been together 14 years. We appreciate him very much. He is phenomenal. And again, he keeps us in the loop, and we appreciate that very much. Again, been at it for 14 years. Again, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer, taking care of 18 folks, take care of 10 counties. So you can imagine from Morristown City having 18 folks cover all the woods and waterways between here and between Morristown and Mountain City. It's incredible what they get done, and they do a great job, and we appreciate him very much, and good stuff. So thank you, Kim. Be sure again, go to our Facebook page, our one-stop shop, TomTaylorSports.com. You can go in there, you can like us and share us, and you have. I see where Ben shared us. Thank you. And you can share us and like us, as does Jeremiah Clark, Appalachian Digital. So if you want somebody that can get your business turned around with the social media, this guy and his partner, Michael Smith, can do it. AppalachianDigital.com. Go to the website. That's how you can contact them. And these folks, as the old boy says, they get her done. So anyway, we thank them very much. And that's the success of this show. First comes from the good Lord. And then from guys like Ben Foy helping me out back in the home front. And then guys like Appalachian Digital with Jeremiah Clark and Michael Smith. Appreciate those guys very much. They're awesome. All right. So let's see. We got more stuff down here on the floor. Goodness gracious sakes alive. Andy Duke says a firehead here. Well, I got a lot of information to talk about. Goodness gracious. It's a busy time of year. Football and basketball and baseball getting ready to crank up. Spring training not tough way, so it's all good. So yeah, you talking about the Ryan brothers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from Buffalo. Yeah.
I couldn't find anything that said they got fired on Twitter. They just, Twitter universe is lit up about it.
Well, it should be. It's Bush League.
One said,
One said what? Oh, there you go. All righty. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, here we go. We got that championship music rolling because we're fixing to get into talking about some college football preview games coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It is 25th ranked South Florida taking on the 6-6 South Carolina Gamecocks at Legion Field in Birmingham for the Birmingham Bowl this afternoon. For one thing, new head coach Charles Strong will be evaluating his squad, which will be directed by interim head coach and wide receivers coach T.J. Weist. For another one, junior quarterback Quentin Flowers, the American Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Year, can get a head start trying to impress folks for the Heisman Trophy for next year. Flowers, one of 5 players listed as early Heisman contender, the Associated Press earlier this month. Flowers, a program record 37 touchdowns so far, 22 passing, 15 rushing as the quarterback for the South Florida Bulls. 1,425 yards rushing are the second most for an FBS quarterback, just behind Lamar Jackson of Louisville, which, as you know, pretty good quarterback. And so Will Muschamp, the South Carolina coach, says, quote, he's a competitor. He's got a competitive edge about himself. We got to be ready to go. And so they've got Marlon Mack back there who led the AAC in rushing. 14 career runs of 40 yards or more. This guy's explosive. South Florida 10-2 on the season. Meanwhile, South Carolina has to win 4 of its last 6 games to become bowl eligible. Coming off that butt whooping to Clemson at 56-7. Gamecocks start 7 true freshmen, including quarterback Jake Bentley. And so the South Carolina Gamecock had some good wins. Gamecocks had wins, of course, Tennessee in a big upset. Vanderbilt, Missouri also defeated East Carolina out of the AAC. So South Florida, who has set a school record for most wins in the season with 10, also defeated the Pirates this season. That's their one common opponent. And so it's 6-6 South Carolina. And as we said, the South Florida Bulls roll in there this afternoon clock kickoff with a chance to make some noise for sure against the South Carolina Gamecocks. And anytime you beat a Southeastern Conference team, South Florida 10-2 going to try and do that again this afternoon in Birmingham. 5:30 this afternoon, the Belk Bowl in Charlotte. The Virginia Tech Hokies at 9-4. Arkansas 7-5. Arkansas has something to prove in the Belk Bowl, despite much of the attention. Seems to be tilting towards Virginia Tech. I think it's easy to see why the 18th-ranked Hokies have garnered so much respect going into the Thursday game at the Bank America Stadium. You know, they gave Clemson all they wanted in the ACC championship. The Hokies, I would love to see them play Tennessee again in the Battle of Bristol. Go back up there and redo that one. I guarantee you it'll be a different outcome because Virginia Tech is playing. They're going up right now. Tennessee is either leveled off or maybe going kind of downward a bit. And the Hokies are red hot under Justin Fuente. And so this is the first Arkansas-Virginia Tech meeting ever for both schools. It's also the first time either will play in this bowl. Virginia Tech coming off the loss to Clemson, the ACC championship earlier in the month in Orlando. The ACC Coach of the Year, Justin Fuente, of course. Much of the credit for Virginia Tech's success goes to the junior quarterback, Evans. He has thrown for more than 3,300 yards and 27 touchdowns with only 7 interceptions. You throw for 33 yards and only 7 picks, you've got some accuracy going on. Virginia Tech with 445 points this year is within 20 points of breaking the school record points in the season. Isaiah Ford, great outside wide receiver, sets on the outside and can scoot 73 catches, just 2 shy of his single season record from last year. So Arkansas concerned about the big play offense of Virginia Tech Hokies, and understandably so. Razorbacks losing 2 last 3 games in the regular season. And so Arkansas 7-18 against nationally ranked teams under Brett Bielema. This will be the Razorbacks' first out-of-conference nationally ranked foe with Bielema in charge. So it is the 24th season in a row, by the way, that Virginia Tech plays in the bowl. That's awesome. 24 years in a row, the Hokies have been to a bowl game. That's the longest active streak recognized by the NCAA. So coming up again at 5:30 this afternoon, the bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina. Go Hokies! One of our one of our regional teams. So go Hokies this afternoon in the Belk Bowl against the Razorbacks. And as I said, Ben Foy, Arkansas is sitting over there like a Cheshire cat because everybody's giving all the pub, like we just did, to Virginia Tech. Arkansas, the biggest offensive line in the Southeastern Conference, the biggest offensive line, I think, either one of the top 2 in America. I mean, these guys are huge. So the Hokies are getting all the pub, but maybe the Arkansas Razorbacks sitting back and grinning and smiling like a Cheshire cat. Austin Allen for the Razorbacks, thrown for 3,152 yards and 23 touchdowns. And so we'll have to see, but I think it's going to be a pretty good ball game. The ACC against the Eastern Conference today at 5:30 in Charlotte. Hokies got something to prove, Ben Foy, but so does Arkansas Razorbacks. They got something to prove too.
Yeah, I think it'll be the best game of the day for sure. Probably one of the best bowl games of the year.
I'm thinking so. The only other one that may be better going into the margin up to this point, tonight's game should be pretty good. 10th-ranked Colorado and 12th-ranked Oklahoma State are mirror images of each other as both teams get ready for the Alamo Bowl tonight at the Alamo Dome San Antonio. Highest-ranked Alamo Bowl matchup ever. First time with both teams ranked inside the top 12. The Alamo Bowl will be the 3rd consecutive top 15 matchup the Bowl has produced. And so Colorado 10-3, losing to Washington in the Pac-12 Conference Championship game. And so it's first bowl appearance since it lost to Alabama back in 2007. So Colorado, it's been a while since they've been there. Coach Mike McIntyre, some folks have said he's the coach of the year in the NCAA college football ranks. And so Colorado going to the first bowl game in 10 years. And so they, good football team. The attention of the Colorado players even more piqued by the fact that Oklahoma State's talent jumps out at them when they watch the Cowboys sighting video. Oklahoma State is a very, very good football team. And again, it should be a good one coming up again tonight. Again, it's a 9 o'clock kickoff from the Alamo Bowl in Texas and San Antonio. Oklahoma State at 9, who lost their regular season finale to Oklahoma in the de facto Big 12 championship game. There's great balance on both sides of the ball. And so the series between Oklahoma and Colorado dates all the way back to 1920. The two teams played every year as members of the Big 8 Conference and that extended into the Big 12. The schools have met in football 46 times. Colorado leads the series 26-19. So, going to be a good one tonight. And 10th ranked Colorado, 12th ranked Oklahoma State at the Alamo Bowl tonight at 9 o'clock on the ESPN. So, that should be a good one there. Of course, tomorrow, you look at tomorrow's action, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 games tomorrow. The Liberty Bowl, Memphis, Texas Christian, and Georgia. That'll be at noon tomorrow. The Sun Bowl in El Paso, North Carolina tomorrow taking on Stanford. That'll be a good one. Tar Heels and the Stanford Cardinal in El Paso. Music City Bowl, one they're talking about, of course, everybody about Tennessee and Nebraska tomorrow, 3:30 kickoff in Nashville. And then also tomorrow night, actually tomorrow afternoon, I'm sorry, the Arizona Bowl, Air Force taking on the Jaguars of South Alabama. The Jaguars of South Alabama. And so that'll be 4 games tomorrow. And of course, on New Year's Eve, you got the 2 big ones. Gonna be dandies, too. Gonna be nice. Looking forward to those 2. And that would be, of course, your game involving the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Washington Huskies and Clemson and Ohio State. So that's coming up again. So that is on the bowl schedule. But again, today, you've got the Birmingham Bowl at 2 o'clock, South Florida and South Carolina, 5:30 the Belk Bowl, Virginia Tech at Arkansas. Again, the Alamo Bowl at 9 o'clock tonight. You've got Oklahoma State and Colorado. So 3 big ones today in the bowl season. We'll tell you who did what tomorrow here on the show, on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. That's where we are, Champion Chevrolet, where we told you earlier. Again, we'll have him back on here in a little while. But Ann said every Impala they had on the parking lot or on the showroom lot or on the lot here at Champion Chevrolet is gone. Every one of them. And so they've sold every Impala. There's not an Impala to be had in here, which is really cool. And so kudos to the folks here. Over 200 vehicles have been rolled out of here since the start of December. They're having a banner month, to say the least. But again, they have that Chevrolet Corvette Stingray for $17,000 off. $17,000 off a 2016 Corvette Stingray. I'm looking at it right out the window here. It's black. Oh yeah, like the wheels too. The Riley wheels and black vet. They got one in stock. A 2016 Corvette Stingray. $17,000 off the sticker. Obviously, they want to move it. So, anyway, Carmichael, who's normally here, is on vacation this week. Oklahoma State should roll. Okay, we'll see over Colorado. I would think so. South Carolina, South Florida. I won't be surprised if South Florida didn't win that game. Of course, I'm all about the Hokies, so I want them to win and get them a big W for Justin Fuente. I like the guy. Every time I see him on interviews, he's not too excitable. Maybe that could be a hindrance, but some say he's kind of blasé, but he coaches and coaches well. And so I'm all about the Hokies tomorrow night, taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas's got a good ball club, and they've got something to prove, too. As we said yesterday, we had our say about UT. This is critical for all the teams to do well in recruiting. Florida State just picked up this kid out of Mississippi, the number 1 running back in the country. Jim Fisher went and got him. And so last name is Akers, and this kid's the deal out of Mississippi, and he was sought after by a lot of programs, and he has said he wants to be a Seminole State, the number 1 running back in the country. That obviously is a good sign for Jimbo Fisher and the Florida State Seminoles going forward 2017. Tom Taylor Sports Show. I want to remind you again, today is college night at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City, one of our great sponsors. Again, college night tonight from 5 to 9 o'clock, a free Chick-fil-A sandwich with a medium side and drink purchase if you're a college student tonight. A free Chick-fil-A sandwich with a medium side and drink purchase. So you buy the drink and a side, then you get the free sandwich tonight if you're a college student. That'll be going on tonight, as we said, and that is happening at Chick-fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live at Champion Chevrolet on Thursday. We'll get another round of the weather forecast from Ben Foy coming up. It's going to be cool, going to be cold, but it's going to warm right back up and moderate into the 50s and 60s the first of the week. We've got lots to still go through, obviously. I'm looking over my stack of stuff. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We'll take a look at college basketball. Upsets last night, 1, 2, 3, involving top-ranked teams. We'll tell you all about that. Got some NBA news. Also got a lot of high school basketball news to tell you about. So we roll on here again. So we are doing the picking panel this week for the banana pudding. And so right now, wait a minute, Carmichael's giving me some picks. I guess I should be writing these down. He's giving me picks via the Facebook Live. So the Magic of, let's see, who'd he take? Tennessee, Nebraska, Virginia Tech, Arkansas, Alabama, Washington. He's taking Virginia Tech on that one. Carmichael is doing his picks on vacation via Facebook Live. All right, Alabama and Washington. Who you like, Carmichael? We'll get to that here. We'll take a quick break. You got the bobblehead dolls? Oh, yeah, got to get the bobblehead dolls. Got to get those in. And let's run down this story real quick before we go to the break about the NFL and Bill Belichick. Not happy with the way the coaches are getting canned. Again, the story we got and we're hearing and reading about is the fact that Rex Ryan got canned via Twitter. They didn't have the guts to bring him in and drop and fire the guy. They just fired him over Twitter. And so that's that story. And let's read what NFL Belichick says. 3 NFL coaches have already been fired this season. The latest coming Tuesday when the Bills pulled the plug on the Rex Ryan experiment after 31 games. Of course, coaches are fired every year because they fail to meet expectations. But when impatient owners make hasty decisions, make a franchise worse off, and so the cycle of losing takes another lap around the track. Belichick, who's been in New England for 17 years, has won 4 Super Bowls in that time, but was also canned after 5 seasons in Cleveland back in 1995, was asked about coaches for reasons their jobs. Every situation is different, Belichick says. I don't know exactly where everybody else is. I try and dedicate my time and energy into the situation I'm in. Can't really comment what's going on with everybody else. I don't think personally that's the best way to manage a team is to continue to fire coaches. It's really not my call. Some of these guys just do whatever they do, can't worry about it, just make the best decisions for our team and get ready to go here in New England. For the record, Ryan didn't last 2 full seasons, and the Jags fired Jeff Bradley after he went 14-18 and under 4 seasons. Jeff Fisher, meanwhile, was let go earlier this month after almost 5 seasons with the Rams, where he went 31, 45-1 and never once finished above 500. So the other side of the coin, management says we have every right to get rid of these guys because they're not producing. So that story there. Also, the Cleveland Browns no longer have to worry about going winless. They still have something to play for against the Steelers on Sunday. With another loss, the Browns would the number 1 pick in April's draft. If they pull off the win against the Steelers team that's expected to set many of its stars on Sunday, the Browns could lose the top selection to the San Francisco 49ers. We have 2 wins on the season. What will the Browns do on Sunday? Here's what Hugh Jackson says, oh no, we're going to Pittsburgh to try and win a game. We're not going to go up there and lay an egg. That talk we don't even get into. Like I said before, Hugh Jackson said these guys have worked so hard. Every chance you go out there, you are trying to win. So first pick, second pick, third pick, and I like that. Don't go up there and purposely roll over and take one so you can get the number 1 pick. Hugh Jackson says, oh no, we're going up here to win the football game, front and center. One more NFL news story. Tampa Bay announcing that Doug Martin will be inactive next week for a 2nd straight game. Failed a drug test, will begin serving a 4-game suspension this weekend. Martin ran 16 times for 42 yards in Tampa Bay's game against the Cowboys. But again, Doug Martin, roller coaster 5 years with the Buccaneers, could be nearing its end. I think they're tired of this guy. Again, he has been on and off. He signed a 5-year, $35 million contract, $15 million of that guarantee with the Buccaneers. But his future with the team seems tenuous at best because now they can't count on the guy in the last game of the season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and have an outside shot of getting into the NFL playoffs coming up week after next. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. Again, as we do, let's run down for you real quick before we go to the break. We got Andy Dietrich sitting there ready to roll. We got him back on and let him talk more and also show you these bobblehead dolls they've made. I love it. One from Tim Copenhaver and one from Andy Dietrich. I love these things. We're going to show these on camera in just a second. Here is your NFL schedule. New England, Miami. Cleveland will be in Pittsburgh. Carolina at Tampa Bay. The Cowboys in Philadelphia. Houston at Tennessee to take Lions. Buffalo at New York. The Bears will be at Minnesota on Sunday. This is all the final game of the regular season. Ravens in Cincinnati. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Seattle and San Francisco against the hapless 49ers. The Saints in Atlanta. Kansas City at San Diego. The Rams hosting the Arizona Cardinals. The Giants Washington, big ball game there. Lots riding on that game. A lot even more so riding on the Green Bay Detroit game. A lot of ramifications of what may or may not happen as far as the postseason playoff again in that ball game. Again, if Green Bay can clinch the NFC North Division title with just winning out, Detroit can clinch the NFC North by winning, and then you get into first round byes and playoff berths. And so the two big games in the NFC are the Giants in Washington and Green Bay at Detroit. And that'll kind of shake us out and get everything ready to go for the playoffs starting week after next. And of course, my boys with Matt McGloin, the Raiders, taking on the Broncos in Denver, and they're going to try and play the spoiler to see Oakland and Kansas City still fighting for the divisional championship. And so the Chiefs will be in San Diego to battle the San Diego Chargers, and the Raiders will be in Denver to wrap things up against the Broncos. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll be checking in with Andy Dietrich. If you're on Facebook Live, you got to see, you'll love the pictures of the bobblehead dolls. The Andy Dietrich and the Tim Copenhaver bobblehead dolls. I'd like to have me one of these. Have them autographed. That'd be really cool. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live at Champion Chevrolet, the Bristol Motor Mile. And get on AM 790 on Facebook Live. You're watching, listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Rex Ryan not a winning season since 2009, so not good to say the least. But even so, it ain't how to get rid of the guy. You're gonna can him, have a little. I don't tell him on Twitter as he's driving down the road in a Buffalo Bill truck. Lord. That's it. Go down into somewhere and just leave it with the keys in it. Say there you go. Have at it. But he didn't. He's got a little bit more class than that. So, but I'm a redneck. So, but I probably wouldn't do that either. But it would certainly be tempting, I can tell you that. So, all right, we'll come back. You want to talk pre-owned? By the way, thank you for being on Facebook Live. Like us, and you have, and share us, and you have. 14,000 have been reached over the last 4 days on this show. You've already done this. Let's go to resume. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All right. We get done with Andy. We're going to roll right into Sweet Georgia Brown. I got a lot of basketball to talk about. NASCAR. He says it's a fire hazard. That'd be nice. That'd be good.
I'll try to find one.
You what?
I'll try to find one.
Yeah, we'd like to have that. Oh, here we go. Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us live at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile. John says turn around. I want you to see number one, Andy Dietrich. You got him on? Are you there? There you go. Show me the bobblehead dolls. There you go. That's good stuff right there. These were made by an employee. Is that right?
Yes, Chris Bird, our parts manager here that's been here with us for 10 years. He told me about a week ago, I'm a little upset your Christmas present won't be here in time for Christmas, but you're really going to enjoy it when it comes in. And so, you're left to wonder what in the world has he done. And then they came in yesterday, and you can record your voice at the bottom. You can hit a little button there on both of these. So I have Tim saying, how do they do that? And then the big joke is here, we've had a ton of people over the last 10 years come in and ask if Tim's my dad. And it drives in bonkers. So I have myself saying, he's not my father.
Not my dad.
He's not my father. So
They really do come in and ask if you're his son.
Oh, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And that doesn't go well, does it?
It does. Well, the first 5 or 6 years it didn't go over well, and now he has to laugh about it because there's nothing he can do.
No.
I only do one commercial a year with him. It's the Super Bowl commercial, and that's when it first started happening. Really, people would come in and say, "I saw you all together. Is that your son? Is he your dad?" And he swore off that he would never do another commercial with me, but it just keeps happening now. People walk in here and look at both of us and go, "Is he your father?" And what's the bad thing is he's 13 years older than me. I said, "Tim, you either look really old or I look really young. I don't know which one it is."
That is great. We're talking to Andy Dietrich, co-owner again of Champion Chevrolet here in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Over 200 vehicles have been delivered so far this month, and
So far.
January 3rd is the month. So out there right now, I noticed some folks out there looking at a ride. You got foot traffic even on a windy day out here. You got folks out there on the lot looking around.
Well, this is typically, this is the best month we've had, best December we've had in 10 years that we've been here. And typically the week between Christmas and New Year's, best week that we have retail-wise since we've been here. So, there's a lot of people off work. There's a lot of people that are looking for year-end deals. There's a lot of businesses looking for year-end deals to take advantage of tax savings. So it is usually just wide open. And the whole month's been like that. Usually it's always this week. So we're all here. We're all working every day and be open New Year's Eve as well. Of course, we're closed on Sundays, so we'll not be here on New Year's Day. Tomorrow
we'll be live, taking the show right out the road here. We'll be at Food City in Gray. Big Midnight Madness sale starts tomorrow at Food City. We'll be there. Big Daddy Dell's tomorrow. I love the Bibles. That's great.
I don't know if you can hear him. Let's see if we. and then
this is the one I want to hear. That's great. Boy, you just torment the old boy, don't you? You just keep him tore up. Our buddy Tim Copenhaver.
And I think they were a little nice to him. If you notice here, he has a lot of hair on top of his head. And, I sit by him every day, and it's more like back to here.
There's receding.
Here forward, there's no. So.
They've done him.
They're very nice.
Done him kind, as
yeah.
they say.
See, they even got our champion logos
on the shirt.
The shirts.
I love it. So. That's good stuff. We're talking again to Andy Dietrich again from Champion Chevrolet. So again, refresh what we talked about earlier. You've got trucks on sale. You've got the Impalas are gone. You've got some Cruze on sale, some Sparks. Tell me about it, big guy.
Well, the trucks are always been our number one selling vehicle here. And we've got 2017 Silverado 1500 4x4 Crew Cab LT All Stars, $8,000 off. I've also got 2017 Silverado 2500 HD, that's heavy duty 4x4, say $5,580 off MSRP. And the biggest discounted vehicle that I have, one left 2016 Corvette Stingray, $17,230 off MSRP. Then that's our biggest deal that we have. But also, if you've got a business and need to spend some money before the end of the year, expense some stuff out, I do have a 2017 Chevrolet cargo van that's discounted $8,000. It's a 2017 cargo van. So if you're in a delivery business or moving, this is the best deal we've ever had on an Express. This is the full-size van.
You've got winter coming. Or talking about giving some snow flurries. Not a lot here in this first go-around. But there's going to be some flurries, maybe some above 3,000 feet, some snow accumulation in the mountains this weekend. So, but again, it's going to moderate. But point being, it is winter. We're going to get some more snow. We know that. We're just getting started, really, with the winter. But trucks, what kind of truck would you reckon? Or maybe an SUV that would be good for a family to be able to travel in safely, going over the mountains. What kind of rides do you promote here that would be good in snow?
But the good thing, we do get some snow, and sometimes, when we do get it significant, we do have SUVs that have all-wheel drive available on them, also four-wheel drive. But also we'd have like the Traverse and the Equinox and the Trax, which are all offered in all-wheel drive variations. But they're also front-wheel drive. If you don't want to spend the extra couple grand, the difference between a front-wheel drive, a rear-wheel drive, and an all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive vehicle, you've got the weight of the motor over the front wheels that are delivering power to the vehicle anyway. So, you're more likely to be safe in a vehicle with least have front-wheel drive if it does snow a little bit outside. So, but we've got Tahoes and Suburbans and heavy-duty trucks and Traverses and Equinox. All are available in four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Also the Trax and all-wheel drive. Silverados you can get in four-wheel drive. The heavy-duty trucks. Some of our car lines here do have all-wheel drive available as an option in it. So lots of different things to look at. We do sell mostly. A lot of people always ask me. We do get 1, 2, 3, 4 snows a year. We do mainly sell four-wheel drive trucks. We do have two-wheel drives available, but majority. When it comes to SUVs, the small SUVs, we sell mostly front-wheel drive. So it's weird how it plays out. But.
So on a Chevrolet truck, again, we're talking Andy D, live here at Champion Chevrolet. It is 28 before the hour. Got a lot of sports yet to get to squeezed in before we leave at the top of the hour and give it away to Charles Stanley on the radio. So in a truck, four-wheel drive, back in the old days, I'm dating myself, you had to get out and turn the hubs on the four-wheel drive. And,
Not anymore.
That's all gone. Right. Yeah. Tell me. So it's inside the cab. You just hit a button, or
either hit a button, or some of the work trucks you can still get the lever on the floor. Some people like that, and hitting the button. And but both those type of vehicles, you don't have to get out and turn the hubs, and especially all-wheel drive ones. If you do buy all-wheel drive, it transfers power back and forth from the front wheels to the rear wheels, depending on which one's slipping, and which one needs power. So there's no button to hit on an all-wheel drive vehicle.
There you go. So I'm dating myself, right? I had to get out and turn the hubs.
Well, I'll start out then too.
Yeah, but I'm a lot older than you, so I'm really dating myself, but that's okay. But now you hit a button and keep on trucking.
Yeah, most of them are shift on the fly up to 55 miles an hour, so you can just keep on trucking. You don't have to stop.
So tell us the advantages. The obvious is space, of course, between a truck that has the 4 doors and the 2 doors, and it just gives you more space in there for able to haul and carry things like kids, right? Family members.
The main thing you'll see between people buying a double cab Silverado and a crew cab Silverado is car seats. If they have if you have a brand new baby and they have to have the big bulky car seat, more than likely you're going to need a crew cab because you do have the extra space. The only way I've seen it make it work with the big one, if you buy a double cab truck, you put the car seat in the middle seat, so the car seat sticks over the front console just a little bit, the center console in the front seat. But people that want the extra space but don't have, not hauling kids and don't want to spend the extra $1,000, $2,000 for a crew cab, double cab works great. If they need to haul somebody in a pinch, they can just throw them in the back seat. And they used to be suicide doors, and the last couple of years now they're, they open the regular way. So even though they're smaller.
You're right. I hadn't heard that in a long time. Suicide doors. So There you go. The man just tells it like it is. Howard Cosell just tells that like it is.
And, and it was funny. I'm getting text messages here that my parts manager that gave us these bobbleheads. He's enjoying my talk on here about his bobbleheads.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Bird's his name. He drives all the way from Rogersville every day to work for the last 10 years. And that's no easy feat. And we're blessed to have him. And the guys up there in the parts department, they do a great job for us. And thank you again, Chris, for these bobbleheads that I had no idea I was getting these. I was trying to rack my brain what you're getting me, but
he likes it, and they're bobbling. So
they are bobbling.
Tell me the hour's going to be open again, and also you can find out what's out here on the lot via the internet 24/7. Tell us about those two things.
Sales hours are 8:30 to 7 Monday through Saturday. We're closed Sundays. Internet is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's www.championjc.com. You can schedule service appointments, order parts, get finance. Pick out your new or used car. You can chat with somebody here, or you can email them. There's buttons to do all that fun stuff. And our service and parts hours, they're open a little bit earlier. Most time service is in here at 7:30 in the morning. They're here till 6 o'clock at night. Same way with parts. And 8:30 to 5 on Saturdays. So if you can't make it during the week, schedule your service appointment on Saturdays. And everything's closed on Sundays.
We'll be open this Saturday, New Year's Eve?
Yes. Everybody will be here.
All hands on deck. So closing out the month strong.
Yes, we're going to go out with a bang.
Going out with a bang. There you go. So good stuff. And what was the best present? You were going to tell me here from Haley. What did she get you that you got her?
Oh, yeah, she did give me something really neat.
Yeah.
There was a baseball in my stocking, and it had writing on it, and I opened it up, and She got me tickets to see James Taylor in Wrigley Field in July.
Wow. She did good.
Yeah, she did good.
Sweet baby James.
Yeah,
James
I grew up
Taylor.
because my dad always loved James Taylor, and I just grew up listening to it and continue listening to it. And I've seen him play 4 or 5 times, I believe. So
Going to Wrigley.
I've never been to Chicago, so I'm looking forward to it.
So this is not after a game. They've just cleared out. It's going to be a stop on his tour.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was hoping that the Cubs are playing that week, but they're away, so that's how they're doing the game there. But White Sox are going to play, so we may try to catch a White Sox game.
James Taylor, Wrigley Field. You done good, Haley. And you got her more than a beef stick and a
Yes.
People magazine.
Yes, she got some clothes and a nice purse.
There you go. There you go.
So I'm out of the doghouse, maybe, for about a week.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
We're in 10-10.
Yes.
See you next Thursday.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be here. Love coming over here again. Our buddy Andy Dietrich from Champion Chevrolet. Let's swing this thing back around. Hello, Jerry Keller. Thank you, my friend, being with us. Here we go, sweet Georgia Brown. We got some basketball to take care of, and here we go. Oh, yes. Let's start in the college ranks. Not one, not two, not... We get 3 upsets in college basketball last night. Let's start with Indiana getting knocked off. Their 26-game winning streak snapped at Assembly Hall. Nebraska rolls in. The Cornhuskers only 7-6 beat Indiana. 16th-ranked Hoosiers 87-83. Thomas Bryant 17 points, 10 boards for the Indiana Hoosiers on a losing cause against snapping their 26-game winning streak at Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana. Also, just up the road, we told you it was going to be a good ball game last night. It was 12th-ranked Virginia knocking off Rick Pitino and 6th-ranked Louisville, 61-53. Louisville at one point trailed by 21 points in the second half to rally to make it a game. But again, the Wahoos, the Cavaliers, win it in Charlottesville by 8 over the Louisville Cardinals. The biggest upset last night out on the left coast, 21st-ranked Oregon, knocking off the number 2-ranked UCLA Bruins. Again, Dylan Brooks, a buzzer beater at the 3-point shot at the buzzer to give Oregon the win. Dylan Brooks had 23 points, 9 rebounds, and so Oregon knocks off second-ranked UCLA 89-87, their first loss of the season for the Bruins of Steve Alford. So other winners last night, 22nd-ranked Southern Cal, 20th-ranked Florida State wins by 16 over Wake Forest. Top-ranked Villanova had a scare. They beat DePaul by 3. 68-65, so Villanova still undefeated at 13-0, but had a scare last night. Also, men's college basketball, North Carolina blows out Monmouth, beat them by 28. The Tar Heels 9th in the country. Xavier, the Musketeers, 17th ranked, no problem with Providence, beat them by 26. 24th ranked Notre Dame, an 8-point win over St. Peter's. Creighton, the Blue Jays, 10th ranked team in the country. They win by 14 over Seton Hall. Purdue, the 15th-ranked Boilermakers, with a 22-point win over Iowa in the Big Ten Conference opener. And 23rd-ranked Cincinnati, the Bearcats, by 6 over Temple. Now, today, it goes like this. Tennessee opens up their Southeastern Conference play. 7 o'clock tip-off tonight at Texas A&M against the Aggies and College Station. Also, you have tonight 13th-ranked Butler at St. John's. 8th-ranked Kentucky, the Wildcats of John Calipari, down in Mississippi to battle the Ole Miss Rebels at 9-3. 8 o'clock tip-off tonight for the Wildcats. Pepperdine will be at 7th-ranked Gonzaga tonight. 25th-ranked Florida will take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas with the best record right now in the Southeastern Conference at 11-1. Gators will play them in Arkansas tonight at 9 o'clock. And 19th-ranked St. Mary's playing Loyola Marymount. And that'll be a 11 o'clock tip-off tonight. And so St. Mary's has won 7 straight regular season visits to Loyola. And so that is the college basketball schedule. NBA from last night looks like this. Your winners, my boys, the Spurs, a 21-point win over the Suns. Other winners last night, Wizards by 6 over the Pacers. Bucks blow out the Pistons, beat them by 25. It was... the Hornets with a 19-point win over the Magic. Hawks by 4 over the Knickerbockers. Pelicans beat the Clippers by 4. The Nuggets, a 2-point winner over Minnesota. The Warriors, Golden State, a 10-point win over Toronto. And Portland got a 13-point win over the Kings last night. And it was, that was your games last night in NBA. Tonight, Miami at Charlotte, Oklahoma City at Memphis. The Raptors will move on and take on the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix on their left coast road trip. Celtics in Cleveland to battle LeBron and the Cavaliers. Philadelphia, Utah. The Lakers are hosting the Dallas Mavericks tonight in the NBA. And that's a look there at the National Basketball Association as we have it for you. High school basketball, here we go. Lots of action around the area in the hardwood, and let's run them down for you again here on this Thursday, December the 29th. We'll start at the Arby's Classic from last night. Tabernacle Bahamas over Crockett beat them by a 74-31 score. Christ School over Sandy Creek, Georgia, 79-62. Wings Academy, keep an eye on Gate City. These guys can play. Scotty Vermillion's got a heck of a team in Gate City. Wings Academy had to hang on to beat the Blue Devils, 66-62. Blanche Ely out of Florida blows out Greenville 70-28. And Chattanooga McCallie beat Washington Park, Wisconsin 60-44. So McCallie out of Chattanooga, coached by former University High and East Tennessee State assistant John Schulman and his son Max. Really only the quote-unquote local team still left in the Arby's Classic. Everybody else has been knocked out of the winner's bracket. Chick-fil-A Classic in Elizabethton at Treadway Gym. Cloudland over Volunteers 74-55. Sullivan Central with a 14-point win over Happy Valley. Chucky Doak beat Knox Central 76-71. You have Elizabethton all over Cherokee 61-35 yesterday. And East Hamilton, coached by former Buccaneer Rodney English, over North Buncombe, North Carolina by 6 at 63-57. In Southwest Virginia, Grayson beat Abington by 10. The Grand Holiday Classic at UVA Wise. George Wythe beat Richlands by 5. Honaker rebelled Kentucky by 5. Honaker, as we said, beat Bell County. Union defeated Eastside by 14. And Wise Central, a 10-point win over J.I. Burton. And boys basketball at the Grand Holiday Classic being played at a very beautiful convocation center at UVA Wise in Wise, Virginia. If you've never been there, that place is a show place. That is an awesome facility in the hills of Southwest Virginia. All right, here's your schedule going on this afternoon. It'll be a 1:30 tip-off. Greenville takes on Washington Park, Wisconsin at 1:30 at the Arby's Classic. Also, the defending champ Wayne, Ohio at 5 o'clock against Buford, Georgia in the winner's bracket. Trinity, Kentucky against Oak Ridge at 6:30 tonight. Christ School against Wings Academy out of New York at 8 o'clock. And Blanche Ely out of Florida taking on Chattanooga McCallie at 9:30 tonight. All that going on at the Arby's Classic in Bristol. Chick-fil-A Classic going on this afternoon. You have a 1:30 tip-off. Cloudland taking on Sullivan Central for 9th place. Also at 3:30, Knox Central takes on the Heritage Mountaineers. Cherokee and North Buncombe at 5 o'clock. Chucky Doak and Morristown West at 6:30. And Elizabethton Cyclones taking on East Hamilton at 8 o'clock tonight in the winner's bracket of the Chick-fil-A Classic going on at Treadway Gym in Elizabethton. Also, the Grand Holiday Classic UVA Wise at 4 o'clock today. Mount Mission will take on Lebanon at 5:30. Ridgeview plays Castlewood in their winner's bracket tonight. Honaker takes on George Wythe at 7 o'clock. And Union battles Wise Central at 8:30 tonight. Again, that's the winner's bracket of the Grand Holiday Classic in UVA Wise in Wise, Virginia. Then for the ladies, look what's going on there. They had a big day yesterday again at the Andrew Johnson Bank Ladies Classic in Greenville, Tennessee. Let's run those down for you. Who's going to be playing where there today? You've got, let's see, the Andrew Johnson Lady Classic. Tennessee High beat North Green by a 41-29 score. Oak Ridge over Jeff County, 57-50. Morristown West all over Spring Valley, West Virginia, beat them by 45. Bradley Central knocks off Daniel Boone by 18. Belfry, Kentucky's ladies over West Green by a 22-point score. Dobbins going to beat Chucky Doak 67-48 in girls basketball. So today it goes as follows. Coming up at 1 o'clock, at 2:30, Loganville, Georgia against Jefferson County. Morristown West Lady Trojans against Belfry, Kentucky at 4 o'clock. Dobbins Minute takes on Bradley Central at 5:30. Tennessee High plays at 7 o'clock tonight. And Greenville battles Oak Ridge at 8:30 tonight. So that's what you've got going on there for the girls. Again, at the Andrew Johnson Bank Ladies Classic at Al Henry Gymnasium in Greenville. In football, high school football, the Sports Writers Association All-State teams announced. And from Elizabethton, Connor Johnson, All-State wide receiver for the Elizabethton Cyclones of Sean Whitten. Also, Corey Russell was the Athlete of the Year in 3A football. On the defensive side, Cameron Coleman, the big lineman for the Elizabethton Cyclones. Again, he was named on the All-State football team in 3A. So from our area, only 3 But the good ones, Connor Johnson, Corey Russell, and Cameron Coleman, all from Elizabeth, and named to the Tennessee Sports Writers Association All-State Football Team. So congratulations to those gentlemen there. It's a Tom Taylor Sports Show. One more topic, one to hit before we take a break. Come back, talk a little NASCAR and the National Hockey League. Let's run those down from last night. You had Toronto skating past Carolina. The Lightning got by Montreal. Vancouver skated past the Kings. It was Pittsburgh skating the Penguins past the Hurricanes, and the Blues skated past the Philadelphia Flyers. Tonight, the number one team of the Western Conference, the Chicago Blackhawks in Nashville, is skating against the Predators. Boston skates at Buffalo, the Lightning hosting Toronto. Detroit skates at Ottawa. New Jersey skates at Washington tonight. Montreal at Carolina. The Islanders and Minnesota against the Wild. Columbus, the Blue Jackets, and Winnipeg to skate against the Jets. The Stars hosting the Avalanche. Calgary hosting Anaheim. The Kings skate at Edmonton against the Oilers. And the Coyotes will be home tonight on the ice to the New York Rangers in the National Hockey League. Quick break. We'll be right back. 13 before the hour. We'll switch gears, talk a little NASCAR. Got a couple of stories to tell you about, and we'll do that coming up next year as we're at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Coming up tomorrow, we'll take it on the road. It'll be Midnight Madness sale time tomorrow. We'll be at Food City in Gray, having a big time there. So we'll be there tomorrow at Big Daddy Dell store, having a big time at Food City in Gray on the Tom Taylor Sports Show as we get ready to head into the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day weekend coming up big time. A lot of sales specials going on tomorrow at all Food Cities, and we'll be at Food City in Gray. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go NASCAR next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Hey, you like our shirts, Tom?
Hello?
You like our shirts?
I love your shirts. You've heard the bobblehead doll, haven't you, Tim? He's not my Oh.
That's what caused me a lot of heartache over time.
You what, Tim?
That's what caused me a lot of heartache over time.
I think you're right. Because he's already brought it over and showed everybody and played it on the air and let everybody hear it. Who won the Sign Seal DB game?
DB.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were up by 10 midway through the second quarter. By halftime, they were up by 1. It was backwards and forwards. Bowden played really well, and that was about it. Corbin kid lighted it up for 3 DB.
Wow. Tim just told me the DB beat Science Hill in the Arby's Classic game earlier today. So, interesting. Interesting. They'll play each other next week, by the way. They'll get into the regular season. I think it's Tuesday night. They play in Johnson City or play in Kingsport?
Tuesday night.
Kingsport?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chris.
Are they playing here or over there?
I think it's here.
Yeah, Johnson City. Hey, be sure and check out again. They got one here on Facebook Live. They got one Corvette, $17,000 off this 2016 Stingray. It's awesome. 2017 Sonic's going to save over $5,700 on those. Also, the Cruises, they've got those on sale, saving $4,000 on a 17 four-door Cruise. And so the 2017 Camaros, saving $3,500 on those. They got all kinds of specials going on or deals. So, again, 200 vehicles they delivered so far this month. Incredible. Hello, Jerry Keller, my friend on Facebook Live. Thank you. Appreciate you being with us. So, we're back again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Got 10 minutes left here again on the Tom Taylor Show. And get Ben Foy here to talk a little NASCAR because we're getting ready and going to be here before you know it. Couple of interesting stories to pass on to you. The Busch brothers are going to be racing next month. They're going to be in the Race of Champions at Marlins Park in Miami. Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch among a star-studded roster of racers from a host of motorsports disciplines around the world, including Formula One, IndyCar, Le Mans, MotoGP, and Rally X. So some of the other folks going to be in there include Juan Pablo Montoya, who used to be in the NASCAR series. He's going to be there. Ryan Hunter-Ray, Jenson Button. Some of the guys going to be in there for the big race. Again, it's going to be first time the Race of Champions will be on U.S. soil. It's going to be at Marlins Park in Miami on the 21st and 22nd of January. Also, the Tulsa Expo Center, now known as the River Spirit Expo, playing host to what NASCAR calls the biggest midget race of the year. It'll be coming up on January doesn't say when it's going to be. It's going to be in January. It's called the Chili Bowl Nationals. Also, a couple of NASCAR regulars, Justin Allgaier, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kyle Larson going to be there. Christopher Bell's going to be there. It's the Chili Bowl. Why didn't they put the date on there? They talk about this and promote it. That's amazing. What would be the basic thing in a story is to have the cotton picking day in it, or on it. I'm scanning through this thing. Nope, they don't have a date on it, so I'll have to go back and have that ready for you tomorrow. But again, it's going to be next month, the biggest midget race of the year. Kyle Larson, in Tulsa. Justin Allgaier, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, regulars. J.J. Ely's going to be in there as well, so they don't have a date on it. I love it. The basic in a story would be to have the date on the story, but that's okay. We'll find out. It's going to be in January. He has, but he has elected not to be in it this year, so he has decided not to be a part of that. Other NASCAR news, Target backing off the sponsorship of Kyle Larson. Money a big reason. Target reducing the amount of NASCAR races it serves as the primary sponsor of Chip Ganassi Racing's 42 Chevy, driven by Kyle Larson in 2017, to allow other companies to work with him. And so Target previously had done all the races, but passes through a number of them annually to brands like Energizer and Axe. And so Target is... their deal expires in NASCAR after 2017 anyway. And so Target backing off support of Kyle Larson in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, now, of course, the NASCAR Monster Energy Series there. Daytona 500, 59 days away. They've announced the singer of the national anthem, if you care. Multi-platinum recording artist Jordan Sparks, whose faith-based film God Bless the Broken Road will be in theaters early next year, will perform the national anthem for the 59th annual Daytona 500 on Sunday, February the 26th. That's been announced. She'll be singing the national anthem at Daytona. Let's see what else going on in sports. Richard Childress in NASCAR announcing his 2017 lineup for the Monster Energy Series. Austin Dillon, Paul Menard, and Ryan Newman return to carry the banner for the Cup Series program this year. Also, Daniel Hemrick, the rookie driver, he'll be with the addition of him. Richard Childress Racing will operate 5 entries out of its Xfinity Series stable. The number 2 and 3 Chevys in the Xfinity Series will include multiple drivers. Austin Dillon, Paul Menard will be primary drivers for the number 2 Chevy in the Xfinity Series. Second-year crew chief Justin Alexander will top the pit box. Ty Dillon stays in the number 3 Chevy team. Let's see, who else is going to be on there? Brandon Jones and Brendan Gaughan will return with full-time driving duties of the 33 and 62 Chevys, respectively, will compete for the Xfinity Series Driver Championship. So they got a bunch of folks working and getting ready to go in the RCR camp. They've not had a lot of success, Ben Foy, over the last couple of years. They're looking for some success with Austin Dillon, Paul Menard, and Ryan Newman. Haven't had a lot, so they're hoping 2017 will change their fortunes. And what do you think? You think got some horses in the barn to make some noise this year?
I think they may be closer than they were. I'm not sure if they're going to be championship material or not, but I think they'll be closer than they were.
There you go. And also the owners of Bristol Motor Speedway, Bruton and Marcus Smith, interested in buying a Major League Soccer team. Major League Soccer executives confirmed they've been in talks with Bruton and Marcus Smith as potential owners of an expansion team in Charlotte. Charlotte and Raleigh are among the latest 10 cities that have expressed interest in landing a Major League Soccer team. And so, of course, Bruton Smith, a billionaire racetrack owner and a recent NASCAR Hall of Fame inductee. His son Marcus is CEO of Speedway Motorsports based outside of Charlotte and Concord, North Carolina. They both have said they'd be interested in buying the Carolina Panthers when the franchise becomes available. That's pretty cool. Marcus Smith said he's very interested in bringing a Major League Soccer team to Charlotte. So, interested expansion owners must submit their applications by January 31st. The 2 first expansion teams, which would be the 25th and 26th in the league, would have to pay an expansion fee of $150 million each. Marcus says that's not a problem. We can do that. So, there you go. Just, I saw that. Yeah, tell us more about that. The Rolex 24. Tell us about that race. What's that all about?
That's a 24-hour endurance race down at Daytona for the week before, or the weeks before speed weeks. They have team prototypes and different cars. I think there's like 4 different classes of cars all racing at the same time for a 24-hour endurance race. And Jeff Wood will be, I'm not sure what team he's going to be with, but he will be one of the drivers.
That is awesome. Of course, he's going to stay in the broadcast booth for this year. I don't think he's no longer going to be part of Rick Hendrick Motorsports driving team. Even if Junior goes down, they got Alex Bowman. So if he can't come back, or for whatever reason he's not going to come back, but he is. But if need be, I think Gordon's pretty much said we're going to park it for the 88 ride. We did it last year as a favor to Rick Hendrick and to Dale Jr., but I don't think I see him back in the car this year. So this may be his only driving he's going to be doing. Also, if you're ordering tickets for Bristol Motor Speedway 2017, the Food City 500 weekend, not that far away, April the 23rd, we'll drop the green flag. And so for children 12 and under next season, Speedway Motorsports announcing a company-wide Fans First initiative. $10 tickets for kids. I think it's awesome, too. Cup Series events at its 8 premier speedways beginning this year. And so Marcus Smith says coming to the races should be about fun, not about finances. Now a parent can get his or her child through the gates for an entire weekend of NASCAR events, including pole night, a Camping World Truck or Xfinity Series race, and a Cup Series race for just $10. One of the best, if not the best, family values in all professional sports. NASCAR fans have passed down their passion for motorsports from generation to generation. And so now, with an adult ticket purchase, fans can buy up to 2 $10 tickets for children 12 and under to that same event and select seating sections. That's awesome, including at Bristol Motor Speedway. So 423 Bristol, BristolMotorSpeedway.com or BristolTix.com would be the places you can go to get tickets for 2017 Food City 500 weekend on April the 23rd and the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race on August the 19th. So, and I promise you, those will be here before you know it. They'll sneak up. We'll be ready to roll. It's right around the corner, and they're already gearing up. A lot of the staff taking this week off at Bristol Motor Speedway and hitting the ground next week and cranking things up, getting ready to go for the racing for 2017. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get out of here, got a couple of minutes left. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be at Food City. Here's a couple of Midnight Madness sale specials, just a few, at all Food Cities tomorrow for the Midnight Madness sale. Doritos, a $1.99 a bag, limit 4 at all Food Cities tomorrow. Also, whole boneless pork loin, they sell a whiz out of that on these Midnight Madness sales, $1.49 with your Food City value card. Also, Absolute bath tissue, 16 rolls for $4.99. We'll talk all about these tomorrow. Also, Supreme clean paper towels, 8 rolls for $5, limit 4. That'll be going on tomorrow at all Food Cities. And also, you've got apple or cranberry juice, Food Variety, 64-ounce jug for 99 cents. All that coming up again tomorrow from noon until close at all Food Cities. We'll be at Food City in Gray tomorrow, ready to go. So, hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Thanks to Ben Foy, as always, producer, director extraordinaire of the show. Also, thanks to Andy Dietrich and also to David Crum. More guests tomorrow, ready to go. It's kind of a down week this week because a lot of folks are vacating, traveling, and so we'll pick up with our usual big list of guests starting next week. Got some lined up for tomorrow as well, so we'll rejoin you tomorrow again at Food City in Gray. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Don't forget to shop Champion Chevrolet, and these folks are doing it again. 200 cars delivered so far here in the month of December and going strong. Got folks in here already, got some more folks. A lot of foot traffic out here for a cold, windy day at Champion Chevrolet in the Motor Mile, Johnson City. So for Andy Dietrich, David Crum, the TWRA, and for Ben Foy, this is Tom Taylor again reminding you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for giving us a listen and a watch. And again, we will rejoin you tomorrow at 11 o'clock on AM 790 and also on Facebook Live. Until then, have a great Thursday, and so long, everybody.
Good show.
Yeah, it was. For just a few guests, we really hit it pretty good here. Let me say goodbye to the Facebook folks one more time real quick. Again, thanks to Champion Chevrolet here on Facebook. They're awesome. Tim Copenhaver, and of course Andy Dietrich, who's a piece of work. Again, he is not my father. That's the class quote of the day. That's good on that bobblehead doll. That is classic. Be sure and stop by. Again, you got Equinox on sale, saving $6,000 off Equinoxes. Again, Tahoe's on sale, $14,000 off of Tahoe's right now. The 2016 LTZ 4x4 Tahoe's on sale to the tune of $14,000 off. 2017 Cruises, saving $4,000 on a brand new 4-door Cruise. Also, the Impalas are all gone right now. They've sold every Impala on the lot. They're getting a new shipment in, but every Impala they've got is gone. Also, they've got right now that one left, that 2016 black Corvette Stingray. You're going to save $17,000 over $17,000 on that Corvette Stingray. Also, the 2017 Sonics are on sale to the tune of almost $6,000. Save on those. And the 2017 Camaros, $23,000. You're going to save over $3,500 on a 2017 Camaro. So, plus the Silverados that Andy talked about earlier in the show. So, you want to check them out. They do a phenomenal job here. Love hanging out with these guys. They're hilarious. And so you can visit them at the website, as we told you about, or just stop by here. And they are going to be open on Saturday, New Year's Eve. They will be open on Saturday, always closed on Sundays. And so check them out. Champion on the Bristol Motor Mile here in Johnson City. Thank you for watching us. Again, as we always are told to tell you, be sure and like us and share us at TomTaylorSports.com, our new website. Also, sign up for the new email newsletter. We thank you for that. And also, again, like us and share us on Facebook, again, by going to the website at TomTaylorSports.com. So, again, thanks to Ben Foy back and on front as always. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, and ladies, at 11 o'clock tomorrow from Food City in Gray. Have a great Thursday, and thanks for giving us a watch and a listen here at Champion Chevrolet in Johnson City. So long, everybody.